Just a few weeks ago, those nerdy voice actors from Critical Role announced and then launched a new streaming home for their content named Beacon. Smartly, they decided to leave Twitch and YouTube as is, and instead make their new $6 a month platform just another option to consume their content, mostly. There's some exclusive stuff there, which I'll get into. Well, I've been signed up since a couple days after launch, and I want to give my impressions after using the service for about a month now. As a real quick aside, let me rant about streaming services in general for a second. I hate them. I'm old enough to remember a time when they didn't exist, back when we had cable and satellite and antennas as viewing options. And we all collectively said, cable is dumb. Why are we paying $80 a month for 100 channels when we only want the 10 or so good ones? And then streaming launched and we rejoiced. Cut the cord, no commercials, only pay for the good stuff. 15 years later, now you have to pay $150 a month to get all the good stuff across all the different streaming services, and they have freaking commercials now. It sucks that we got suckered by this total bait and switch. We got what we wanted, but not the way we wanted. Yes, Lando, this deal's getting worse all the time. Anywho, this is my review of yet another brand new streaming service. I've been a fan of Crit Role since early in Campaign 2, which I know makes me a noob to some people, but I've been watching pretty religiously for a solid 4 or 5 years now, and I've fallen pretty hard in a parasocial way for the cast. I love them. But I don't like the Twitch interface, and I don't really care about live chat. I had been watching on YouTube mostly, but I don't like having to wait several days after the main broadcast. I want to have the option to be part of the conversation online after. I dislike having to avoid social media for fear of spoilers. I cannot abide spoilers. So along comes Beacon. For $6 a month or $60 a year, you can get mostly the same stuff as Twitch or the premium YouTube. There is technically no real-time chat as far as I know, and instead there is a members-only Discord group that functions as the live chat. But like I said, I don't really care about chat. I don't much care about the Discord group either, I just don't have time for it. But you also get more than what you can get on YouTube and Twitch. For one, there are no ads on the main show and the mid-session break is cut out. I do appreciate that. Also, you get access to the podcast version of the show immediately after the episode comes out, so no waiting a full week if you'd rather listen. Like Jay-Z said, I got no patience and I hate waiting. But what I think might actually make it worth the $6 per month is an exclusive new show called The Cooldown. This is a 10 to 15 minute mini-sode recorded right after the main show. It begins with Matt saying, "Is it Thursday yet?" and then the cast just talks freeform about everything that happened in that episode. And it's great. It's exactly the little behind-the-scenes slice of life that I want from the cast. It's sort of like what NADPOD does with their short rest episodes, but the fact that it's recorded literally right after each main episode ends means that it's all very fresh and raw and revealing. It's the best part of the new service. Real quick, since I have you, could I get a like and subscribe below? It only takes a second and it helps us both out. Make sure to click all next to notifications. Thank you. As part of Beacon, you also get 10% off Critical Role store purchases, which is good because their merch is definitely overpriced. You get access to pre-sales for live events and such, which I haven't taken advantage of yet. But they're definitely dropping in these little perks to incentivize people to choose Beacon over Twitch or YouTube, and I'm here for that. Crit Role gets to keep a higher percentage of the sub money through Beacon, so obviously they want you to pick that one. As an indie author, I completely get that too. Like Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine said, "F a G-Ride, I want the machines that are making them. If you know, you know." Also, I like the idea of Critical Role Abridged, which are condensed 90-minute versions of each session. Quite often, Critical Role is 4 hours long and only contains 90 or 120 minutes of great content anyway, so I think a fluff-free edition of each episode is very smart to attract more casual viewers. But as of now, they're about 70 episodes behind the current live schedule, so it's not useful to me yet. But I love the promise of being able to catch up quicker if I fall behind. I think what they probably should do is eventually put the abridged versions on YouTube for free, then release the full 4-hour episodes on Beacon and Twitch. For the average TV viewer, a weekly 4-hour show is a pretty daunting high bar. Get them hooked on the shorter stuff first. There is a web version at beacon.tv in a phone or tablet app which makes it easier to cast to a TV. I've sent their support team a request to make a smart TV channel, which would save me the hassle of casting. Overall, the app experience is good, but there have been a couple times when my phone disconnected from casting and then it lost my place in the episode and I had to scrub to find it again. That's annoying. I don't know if it's Beacon's fault or my phone's fault, but either way, a smart TV channel would solve that problem. There's also a brand new podcast called Slayer's Take, featuring two game masters and a crew of familiar voices, including Jasmine Ballar and Jasper William Cartwright. I don't know if either of them have actually been on Critical Role before, but I know them both from other things like Dimension 20 and the Three Black Halflings podcast. Slayer's Take is an all-ages actual play, and it's going to be released on Beacon a full 2 weeks early compared to the public feed. As of this recording, only the first couple episodes are out. It's highly produced, so it sounds more like a radio play than an actual play, which isn't really my thing. In Beacon, you'll also get ad-free versions of Midst and all the Candela Obscura short campaigns, plus other exclusives like that fireside chat I showed earlier. So, should you pay for Beacon? Maybe you're fine with the free podcast and you don't mind waiting a week after broadcast and missing out on the video part. Maybe you like the Twitch chat and want to watch it there to feel like you're part of the pseudo-live audience. Maybe you like watching it on YouTube because it's such a familiar platform. Ultimately, I think if you're happy with however you prefer to consume Critical Role, there's not a must-have reason to switch to Beacon. But the extra content, immediate VOD and podcast release, and the streamlined experience are pretty nice bonuses. I think if you're a critter, it's at least worth trying out. Currently, you can get a 7-day trial membership for free, so all you have to invest is your time. I would highly suggest you watch the cooldown because that alone might be worth your monthly $6. I think that's about all from me. Let's keep this one short and sweet. Until next time, I'm GM Jim. Hope you have a wonderful week.